Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I had to think about that one. I forget the days a lot of the time. It's okay. So good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having an awesome Wednesday. If you're watching this part, you are watching the replay. And if you don't know me, I am Ericka Champion Wise. I am an elite independent consultant with paparazzi accessories, and I love doing these morning pep talks. Aha, chapstick. Had to find the chapstick. I love doing these. We meet most every weekday morning. Sometimes we don't if I have an early morning meeting or something like that. And every once in a while I do. This is one of my favorite things, and I encourage you to share this on your page, because you know people I don't know, and you know a lot more people than I do sometimes, and everybody can use some good encouragement. This is not just for my paparazzi team. I do a whole heck of a lot of training for them. This is for everybody. This is universal. This is about life stuff. Sometimes we do talk business stuff, but it's applicable across all walks of life. So share for me. Let your friends see it. Let them get some love and inspiration today, because we can all use a little more, right? So let's hop into this bad boy. We're going to talk about a concept called the tipping point. Okay, you may have never heard of this. It's only Tuesday. Oh, happy Tuesday. See, I don't know what day it is. Hashtag real life. Oh my gosh. But we're going to talk about the tipping point. And my paparazzi team, we talked about this a little bit last night. We're going to talk about it a little more now publicly for everybody, because it's a concept that until a few weeks ago I hadn't really heard about, but I knew about. And it's something that in truth we all know about, because it happens in our everyday life. There comes a point where we go over the ledge. We go over the edge, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing. We all come to that point, and that's what I want to talk about, okay? So let me give you a couple of examples. The one that I gave last night that I think really helped explain it was, think about my coffee cup, okay? It's got a ridge, it's got a lid, it's got a top here. And if, as I were filling it with coffee or water or what have you, if I came to the top, there comes a point where I either have to stop because it's going to overflow, or I have to keep filling it because I want it to overflow. Hang on, I just had an epiphany. If I don't write that down, we're going to forget it. So there comes a point where I have a choice to make. Me, as the owner of the cup, the filler of the cup, do I stop at the top? I stopped a few inches here, because if y'all don't know me, I'm a big old klutz. Or do I keep going so that it spills over? That is the tipping point. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Please let me know if that makes sense. Let me have some comments if you're understanding what we're talking about here. That is the tipping point in real life. That is where we have a choice. Do we turn off the faucet, or do we keep going and let it overflow? And that's a personal choice. This is what we're talking about today, but we're talking about it mentally, in business, in real life stuff, okay? So hang with me on this one. This is going to be some high level stuff, but it is amazing when you think about it. And I want to give you another example of a tipping point that I know you're going to relate to. Have you ever been pushed by someone and they're just bugging you, and they're just like until you explode on them? You ever been there? See, I'm not an exploder. I have absolutely zero problem looking you in the face when you've pissed me off and tell you you're making me mad, you need to back off. I don't explode on people. I do not push to that tipping point. My husband, God love him, he is an exploder. My brother is, my mother is. I'm definitely my father's child. I ain't got no problem just letting you have it right then and there. But some people are emotional exploders. You get pushed and backed into a corner and harassed and annoyed and just until you blow up on somebody. Anybody relate to that tipping point? And you feel it, and you feel it coming, and you feel it coming, and you have a choice to make. Do I explode? Do I push over the tip? Or do I rein it back and hold it in? Yeah? Okay. So that may not be like an awesome tipping point that we want to do, but it is a real life example that I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to. We've all gotten to that point in our lives at one point or another. Even those of us who don't explode, we've all exploded on somebody because they've just pushed us too dang far. All right, so let's talk about this in life. Someone's chatting with me and I can't see anything. I'm sorry. Right, Teresa? I feel the same way. I feel like a big old butthead when I'm mean to people, but some people need it, and I keep telling myself that. I don't have to be mean, but I do have to be firm, and there's a difference. So let's talk about this tipping point in your mindset journey, in your weight loss journey, in your business journey. Okay, so keep those examples in mind, and that is a good way to understand what a tipping point is. There are tipping points in your journeys. Ooh, I got a little excited on this one here. Ooh, okay, there are tipping points that come in your business. Business is a good one to start with, right? You're working and you're working and you're plugging along and not really doing anything and nothing's really changing, but you're working anyway, right? Because you like your business and you know that other people have made this a success, and so can you. I need you to understand that there are tipping points in business. There are times when the cup is filling and filling and filling, and some of you are sitting right here on the edge, right here on the lid. And if you filled it just a little more, if you put just a little more growth in yourself and you just gave yourself just a little more mindset upgrade, you will just spill over into the abundance that you're praying for, that you're begging for, that you're hoping for. And some of you need to fill your cup. We've heard this 1,000 times. You can't pour from an empty cup. And I need you to understand that a tipping point, when we use the cup analogy, only happens when you're filling it up. And you fill your cup with things like this. I'm really kind of grasping some of these high-level concepts. You fill your cup with listening to good podcasts, listening to great speakers, reading great things. And so if you are struggling, if you've been at this for a while or you've been at this for 2 days, good morning, Miss Teresa. I need you to understand you're not ever going to hit your tipping point until you're filling your cup. That is required. You want to tip over, you want to spill over, you want to have abundance and all the wonderful things that you're hoping for out of your business. It only comes when you're filling your cup. So my question to you is, how are you filling your cup? Hang on here. Oh, this is what happens when I put makeup on without contacts in. Things get a little crazy here. How are you filling your cup? What are you filling your cup with, and how fast are you filling it? I did not understand when I first started this stuff. I did not understand the direct correlation between mindset and success. No one told me that. No one explained to me that I was struggling, because business is simple. Business is easy. I can sell ice to Eskimos. That ain't the problem. I was struggling because I wasn't filling my cup, and I was never going to get to that business tipping point because my cup was empty. And some y'all are struggling because your cup is empty. Some of y'all are not going to be the success that you want to have. And I love you, and I'm going to tell you straight, because I love you. Some of y'all are not going to ever be that success until you hear what I'm saying and you start filling your cup. You think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I have long since accepted that to live this kind of life, I have to be a little crazy. Okay, so it's not going to hurt me. But I'm telling you, you are not a success. You are not growing. You are not building the team that you know you can build because you're not filling your cup. Hey, Steph, I can see your name, but I can't see anything you're writing. Give me just a second. I'll put my glasses back on. Thank God for magnifying mirrors. Can I just get an amen for the magnifying mirrors for the blind people out here? Yeah. Oh, I swear sometimes, though, I can put makeup on in my sleep. You are not going to get anywhere without filling your cup. You are not going to hit your tipping point. You are not going to step into the abundance that you're praying for until you start to fill that cup. Until you hit that point where, okay, Erica's right, I'm just going to do this. She might shut up if I start doing this. I'm telling you. Squeaky wheel, man. Squeaky wheel. I will be the squeaky wheel in your life if I have to. But you are not going to get to those bigger ranks. You are not going to grow those bigger teams. Hey, Steph. You are not going to hit a tipping point in any part of your life, whether it's business or weight loss or finances. None of it. You are not going to get there with all the love I can give you. You're not going to get there until you start filling your cup. And now you know how to fill your cup. We've talked 1,000,003 times about how to fill your cup. It's got to be filled with good stuff. It's got to be filled with healthy and wholesome stuff. It's got to be filled with things that motivate you and push you to the next levels. You've got to fill that cup up. And some of y'all have been stuck. Some of y'all I know personally. And some of you have been stuck for years. And with all the love I can give you, you're going to stay stuck until you listen, until you take my words to heart and start filling your cup. You can't have an overflow in an empty cup. Okay? Now, let me talk to those who are filling your cup, because some of y'all are. Some of y'all are just like right there with me. We are filling this thing. We are going. Let me talk to you about filling your cup faster. Okay? Because, you know, when you're getting water out of the sink, there's a faucet. Mine goes up and down. Some people turn sideways, whichever way yours goes. But there's a faucet where you can control how fast the water comes out, right? You can control how fast your cup fills. You can. Did you know that? You absolutely have 100% control on how fast that cup fills. You can accelerate the process. Who wants to do that? Who wants to push through and get to the tipping point faster? Who wants to get to those high ranks faster? Who wants to get to those big paychecks faster? Who wants to lose weight faster? There is a measure of control that you have. It starts 100% in your mind. Everything starts in your mind. It starts with getting your mind right. And for me, and this is my process, it starts first with admitting I've got a problem. I told my weight loss group this morning, I'm struggling. I want to go to the gym, but I am not there. And I told them why, and I'm not ready to admit it to you guys yet. I'll talk about that one day. And that was my first step, because you know what? I was isolating myself and I was hiding behind what I was afraid of. And the minute I opened my mouth, well, I was typing it, but either way, and said, I need to go, but, and I put a name to that fear and I put a name to that struggle, things changed. It was almost like the hardest part was admitting it. And so as soon as I admitted it, I felt different. So that is my process. When I'm upgrading into something, when I'm changing my mindset, I have to admit it first. I have to put a name to this puppy first. Then I can do something about it. Then I can set a plan of action to do what I need to do to get where I want to go. This is how I am accelerating the process. After I have a plan of action, then I really start feeding myself. I start filling my cup. I start reading more about how to use my mind in this area of weight loss, how my subconscious is connected to weight loss and how I need to put it together. And I connect those dots for myself. And the more I learn and the more I feed myself and the more I read and the more I watch and the more good things I say about myself, like I've got my affirmations here, you can't read them. The faster my cup fills, the faster I get to that tipping point. So first thing is you got to be willing to fill your own cup. No one is going to fill it for you, and no one should. It's not your sponsor's job to fill your cup. It's not your spouse's job to fill your cup. It's not your mama's. It's not your sister's. It's yours. Your cup. It's on you. You are solely responsible for your cup. And if you're waiting on someone else, you've shot yourself in the foot. You're not helping yourself here. You are the one responsible for filling your own cup. So start filling it. And if you already are filling it, accelerate the process. Fill it faster. Put more in there. Take out all of the bad stuff. Take out, like, this is coffee, okay? So this is my coffee. I like my coffee blonde. And if there were coffee grounds in here, that's bad stuff. That's the negative thoughts. Like, we're going to beat this cup metaphor to death today. I hope you're okay with this. We're just going to pound it in. If there were coffee grounds sitting down in here, you'd be, oh, let's see, are there? No, there's not any. Occasionally that happens though. That's the bad stuff. That's the negative stuff. And I have this little, like rice little strainer. I can pour my coffee through and it pulls out the coffee grounds. You have to strain yourself in a terrible metaphor, but you have to remove all of the negative stuff out of your cup so that you can fill it with good, so that it can overflow past the tipping point, so that you can change your life and the lives of people around you in any area that you choose. This tipping point matters more than I can even explain to you. So much more than I can even explain to you. I've hit the tipping point in certain areas of my life, and I'm working toward it in others. Is it hard? Yeah. Yeah, actually it is. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard because I'm battling me. And I'm tough and I'm strong and I've got walls that have been built forever. It's hard. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I have big dreams, I have big goals, I have big hopes for my future, and I know I have a bigger purpose than even I understand at this point. And so do you. Your tipping point is worth it. I promise. I absolutely promise that your tipping point is worth the effort. Start filling your cup, fill it faster, get rid of the bad crap, and roll on, girl. Go on to whatever amazing thing that you are designed to do in whatever area that you need it in. You can do this. You absolutely, I promise you. Girl, if I can, anybody can. And I am a tough nut to crack over here. Pretty much a nut. So have an amazing Tuesday now that I know what day it is. And I'll see you tomorrow.